Let's talk about how you can create a ton of content to promote your business in this episode of The Ambitious Life.
I'm a man on a mission.
My mission in life is how can I put amazing things out into the world so that I can pay it forward to the next generation. I'm just here to help you so that you can do and fulfill whatever mission that you have in your life.
Marketing today has become a game of volume, of doing a lot of things, not doing one thing. And maybe you do one thing, but you promote it in so many different ways and so many different times, whether that's, putting out multiple pieces of content, which is what we're going to talk about here today. Or even if you're retargeting, you're hitting people multiple times with your ads, you're sending multiple responses, you're following up with people. Like, this is not a game of let's just try something once. It's a game of as many touch points as we possibly can. And one of the best ways to get people who have no idea who you are, a cold audience, your perfect prospect, but they don't know you exist, how to get them to start to know you, to like you, and to trust you in today's marketing environment is through content. And that could be video content, that could be written content, that could be images, that could be audio, but we have to be creating stuff that people go, I'm interested in that. Let me watch that, listen to that, read that. And then they get into your world and they're like, wow, that was some good information. Let me take the next step. So it's not about creating one article, one video, one image, one meme. It's about doing a lot of these things. So let's talk about 3 different ways that you can create a lot of content. Before we do, I want to give you like a baseball analogy real quick, because one of the reasons that we're creating a lot of stuff is constancy and consistency and frequency. We want to be showing up all the time. But the other piece of it is that we don't know which piece of content is going to be a home run for the person watching it. Because what I might scroll and pay attention to is different from what Ricardo behind the camera is scrolling and pays attention to. And I don't know which piece of content is going to work for what part of the audience based on where they are in the buying cycle or what problems they have or what, so we're creating all this stuff almost like a baseball player gets up to bat. And, best baseball players of the game, Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, these guys, I know they're going to hit 300 this year. They're going to get 3 hits out of every 10 at-bats. The problem is, I don't know which 3 at-bats. That's why you go up to the plate every single time, because you don't know what's going to happen until you take that at-bat. And then out of those 3 hits, is every hit a home run? Is every hit a double? No, you have some bloopers, you have some singles, you have some doubles, you have all different kinds of hits. And so with content, it's the same thing. You put out a video every day, you put out a video every week, you put out a piece of content on a regular basis. Some of them are going to be strikeouts, some are going to be pop-outs, some are going to be almost to the wall and then they're caught on the warning track. Some are going to be grand slams and crush it out of the park. Some are going to be doubles. The problem, I don't know, and you don't know which piece of content that is going to be. So we got to create volume. We got to create a lot of stuff so that we get more at-bats to get in front of our marketplace. So how do we create a lot of volume, a lot of content? Well, the first thing is you can create long-form content. Now, that could be a presentation that you give, a speech that you deliver. That could be a webinar. That could be a video like this that you just talk about, 10 things happening in your industry right now. And you take this long video, maybe it's a 30-minute or a 45-minute or a 60-minute piece, and you chop them up into the highlights of that. And so maybe out of a 60-minute presentation, you have 10 2-minute clips that are all highlights that can stand alone and are derived from that long form piece. So now you have that long piece, and now you got 10 additional pieces of content that you have created. So one good thing to do is to look back in your inventory. Have you given presentations and speeches and webinars and different things that you've done in seminars and workshops that you can take the long form and make them into short form? I think that's an amazing way to do it. We call these snackable videos, short bite-sized videos that get people, again, to see. They don't want to watch the whole 60-minute thing or 30-minute thing, but they'll watch the 2-minute highlight. They'll watch the 2-minute snackable clip of that and say, you know what? That was cool. Now let me go watch the entire presentation. Now let me go opt in for their webinar. Now let me go check out their website. So it's a great gateway drug, if you will, to get people to know you, like you, trust you, and ultimately do business with you. So thing number 1, take the long form and break them into snackable short form videos. The second thing, and I love this route, is questions. Putting together a list of questions that your marketplace has and just answering them on camera. This is great because it's really easy to be more relaxed on camera when you're just answering questions. If you're having to deliver a presentation, similar like what I'm doing now, it's more difficult for people because they're always trying to think of, what do I say next? What's my bullet point? What am I staying on track? But if you're just answering questions, it's just natural. You're like, hey, one question I get all the time is this, and here's how I would answer it. It puts you at ease and relaxes you. when you're on camera. So a couple places to find questions. A is something as simple as you, your team, getting some people together and just creating a master list of just frequently asked questions. So if you run a software company, are there questions about how do I become a member? How do I join? What does your software do? Like putting together this monster list and master list of questions is really powerful. If you're a financial advisor, well, what do you think about the market? How much risk should I take? What do you think about Social Security? Like all of these frequently asked questions. You might come up with 10, 20, 30, 50, you might come up with 100 questions. Well, here's the thing. Each one of those questions should be its own video. And if every week you just answered 3 questions, those are 3 videos. And if you put together a list of 30 questions, that's 10 weeks worth of stuff. That's almost an entire quarter worth of content that you have just put together by filming 3 quick question and answers. So now you start by the frequently asked questions. Then something that I love doing is going into Facebook groups that are relevant to what it is that you do and looking for the questions that people ask in the group. So for me, I go into a lot of groups that are about video production or small business marketing, entrepreneur marketing and advertising. And I'll see a thread where someone says, what's your biggest fear about getting on camera? And all these people will list out all their fears. Well, those are all questions that I can address and I can answer, and objections that I can address and I can answer. So I go through these Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups, and I find all of these questions, put them into my phone. I use an app called Evernote. It's not a fancy app, it's been around forever. And then in Evernote, I just go and I can just answer these questions, and it's super easy, super simple, and you can create a lot of them really, really quickly. And then the third thing is jot down questions that people have when you're selling, right? You're likely the person who's selling your products and services. Maybe you're doing it over the phone, maybe you're doing it in person, networking groups, email, text messaging, messenger, however you're selling. Well, what are the questions that people continuously have? And just jot them down. Again, put them in, store them in something like an Evernote, and you just put the questions in there, and it gives you a monster list of questions. So the first thing we talked about was taking long form, making it short form. Second thing was questions. The third thing to ensure that you produce a lot of content is to schedule and batch your filming. If you don't schedule it, it will not get done. So you must be rigorous that every Monday morning at 10 o'clock, it's filming day. And it trains your brain and your subconscious mind to get ready to film on that day. Because if I was just like, be creative on the spot, it's really hard for you to be creative on the spot. But if you know that every Monday is filming day, your brain starts to train itself and get it ready. So Monday morning comes, you pull out your phone, you see the questions you need to answer, and boom, you're ready to go because your mind has been working on it. Your subconscious is so powerful. The other thing is that you know that if it's scheduled like in a meeting or an appointment or a sales call or a call with a vendor, it actually gets done. If it's something that you're trying to fit in between stuff, it's not going to get done. So we got to schedule it. The second thing is we want to batch record, meaning that we don't want to just shoot one video at a time. We want to shoot as many videos at the same time as possible because you're in the flow, you're in the zone. You are, again, your subconscious is working for you. You knock out one video, boom, it stops, and you just do the next one and the next one and the next one. And you start to get into a groove, you start to get into a rhythm, and that's going to get you consistent and get you the volume of content that you need. So if in this year you want to go in on creating more content and being in front of your audience and helping them and adding insights and getting people to know you, like you, trust you, you gotta create a lot of content. One way to do that, taking long videos, long presentations and chopping them up into short snackable clips. The second thing is answering questions, frequently asked questions, questions that people are posing in Facebook and YouTube groups and LinkedIn groups. And the third one is scheduling it and batch recording. If you do those 3 things, you will start to create so much content that your marketplace is going to be like, oh my God, where did this person come from? Everywhere I look, they're adding value and they're helping me. That's what you can do when you commit to this. Now, if you want some help in generating some ideas and having an outline to put this content together, well, I'd love to give you one of the tools that I've created based on what I've been doing for the past decade in this industry. And it's actually what I use to outline this video. So you can use it to outline your videos or your podcasts, your articles, anything that you do, even your frequently asked questions. And it is called the Ambitious Video Planner. It's really, really cool. Just go to theambitiousplanner.com. You can get yours now. It's just a couple bucks and we will ship it to you. It comes with 52 different ideas for your videos and for your content, along with the outline that I've been using for over a decade that has produced millions of views for our videos and, more importantly, millions of dollars in sales for our agency. Theambitiousplanner.com is where you can get it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Click subscribe wherever you're watching this. Share this with your group and your community. I would love for you to do that. Let me know what you think of the tips, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of The Ambitious life.